Rich finally back at home and another win on the board.
Yeah, happy to get that one. It could have been a bit of a tricky game. It was a very slow, stop-start game, but we started well, started with intent, got a couple of scores in front, and yeah, we just started pushing a few passes, which didn't help build any sort of pressure, and it became a real scrappy game. But like I say, over the moon that we did get the 2 points and putting 40 on a team's, it's very pleasing.
After the last few weeks, with all the kind of chaos we've had, without kind of being disrespectful to them, it seemed a bit more straightforward this weekend, didn't it?
Yeah, it did. I thought we looked a little bit tired towards the back end of the game due to all what's happened in the previous weeks. We're down to a few low numbers now, and we've had to rest a fair bit rather than getting some meters into them. And I just thought we looked tired towards the back end. So, but I was real happy how they did start the game. Played with that energy, got the game, probably took it away from them, and just sort of probably they looked like cruising into the back end of the game.
You mentioned that start. The start of both halves really kind of set us up for the full 80, didn't it?
Yeah, again, again it's energy, isn't it? You get to have them little rests and charge the team up, and we came out again second half and got an early score and just put the game sort of away from them. But that just probably opens the door for for us to be loose, and I thought we were. I thought we pushed a few passes where we didn't really need to. We didn't build any sort of pressure, and on the back of that, they managed to scramble a couple of tries.
We mentioned before about how kind of focusing on ourselves. We're going to be like the main thing this weekend with the amount of kind of errors that were in that first half as well. Making sure we got things right really put us in front.
Yeah, look, it was always half time was about just make sure with the ball control. It was all about where we're finishing our sets, and we did it early doors for maybe a 10-15 minute period. But then again, I think there was a lot of space in places, and it started overplaying, and then again the errors crept in and misunderstanding of what's going on. And we spoke about being clinical because we've got some tough games coming up back end. They're all above us, so these teams that were coming, if we turn over the ball the way that we were doing, I don't think the result is what we had today.
Obviously, it was Craig Hall's special occasion last week. John today, 250th appearance, has been some servant for us, hasn't he?
Yeah, John has been fantastic. Holly and both of them players. Craig last week reaching his milestone. He's been, like I say, I think he got Player of the Month in the Team of the Month. He's been great for us. He's fit. You know what you get with Craig. You sometimes do get a little bit of looseness, but he's skillful. He's fit. He rarely misses games, so you can sort of build a spine around him. And Benny, he's been chomping at the bit to get his opportunity, and we felt like we could give him it this week. And Ben's, he picked up a little bit of an ankle knock, and we could get some game time into him.
John obviously is involved straight away with Paulie's trying and comes so close to get one of his own done in that corner.
Yeah, got it. I think it was a middle that caught him as well, so he'll be disappointed in that. But no, look, he's a threat with the ball. He's great footwork, movement off the mark. He can go 10 meters really quick, but I think beyond that he gets a bit of a trailer on him, and he starts looking around. So. But no, look, he's been fantastic for this club in where we've been in previous years and helped to get us where we are today. So yeah, it's great that we could get him out there and enjoying that performance.
All season it's kind of been about getting away from 8th, 6th tonight. It's about staying there now, isn't it? And maybe even going forward.
For us, yeah, look, I think it's been a couple of weeks just catching that top half of the table. We haven't really moved in position wise, but we've closed that gap, and I think now one win can jump us up to 5th and closing in on 4th with a game in hand. So yeah, for us, we're excited about this next month or so. Look at moving forward, but all focuses are on Hunslet next week.
Finally back at home, enjoy it.
Yeah, look, it's fantastic. They had a great crowd out here. They made themselves known as usual. Very loud when we were on that front foot. Probably helps us get a few decisions as well, which is always a bonus. But look, yeah, for us it's about growing this club, and if fans can bring a friend or know someone who bring them along, they could get hooked, and it helps us grow as a club and move forward in the direction that we want to take it.